Hello everyone. So today we're going to be making an indoor grilled steak, and we're going to try and get this thing as close to an outdoor grilled steak as we can without firing up the grill or blowing up the house. So one good way to do this is one of these things, a grill pan. It's got grates on it. So a few things I want to go over in this video as well are to season the steak appropriately. This is going to be according to the thickness of the steak. We're going to go over a dry brine or dry cure or whatever term you want to use. And lower oven temperatures promote even cooking and resting time. We're going to go over that too. So what do you say we get to it? Okay, to get started, let's have a look at the ingredients. We have a ribeye steak, kosher salt, black pepper, and you could stop there, but I'm choosing to add a little bit of a spice mix to this. To make this spice mix, I'm adding 3 parts paprika, 2 parts each garlic powder, onion powder, and oregano, and 1 part cayenne pepper. This is a quick and easy rub that could be used for steaks, chops, burgers, barbecue, roast chickens, and so on. You could also choose to make your own. Something you might have noticed here is that I've kept the salt separate from the spice mix. Salt does much more than just flavor the surface of the steak. Unlike the spice mix, it actually digs into the meat, pulling out moisture and providing that dry brining or dry curing effect. Ultimately, doing it this way will provide the user with the greatest amount of control over the end result of the finished product. Something else you might have noticed here is that I'm using quite a bit of salt on this steak. The amount of salt you use is dependent upon the thickness of the steak, and as you can see here, this particular steak is just under 1.5 inches thick, so this requires a lot of salt.
Nice.
The steak is now ready to go into the refrigerator, and I am putting it in uncovered. Doing it this way will create an air drying effect and help to evaporate the surface moisture that is brought out by the salt. Ideally, you want to leave the steak in the refrigerator overnight, but I left this one in only a few hours, which is still better than nothing. Before cooking the steak, I'm going to coat the surface with oil. This will help evenly conduct heat to the surface and create better crosshatch marks. Now that we've done that, we're ready to fire up our grill, and by that I mean grill pan. Place your pan on a burner over high heat and allow it to heat up. This is an important step because we are not trying to conduct heat to the interior of the steak, rather we are only trying to create our grill lines. We will be finishing the steak in the oven. I have placed the steak diagonally to the grates of the pan. After approximately 1 minute on this side, we are ready to turn the steak 90 degrees and repeat the same process on this side. After 1 more minute has passed, we are ready to flip the entire steak over. But first, what do you think of how that looks? After flipping it, we will repeat the same process to create both grill lines on this side of the steak. A good technique here is to go ahead and get a temperature of the steak prior to putting it into the oven. This will give you an idea of how long to leave it in the oven for. The interior temperature of this steak was just over 100 degrees, and I am placing it in a 250 degree oven. While this steak is in the oven, we're provided a good opportunity to go over the myth of searing to seal in the juices of meat. Now that the steak has been in the oven for about 18 minutes, we're ready to take it out. For medium rare, I'm going for an internal temperature of around 125. The lower oven temperature provides greater margin of error for getting this correct. Now, with the information given on how this steak was prepared and the information given in the upcoming graphic, how long do you suppose we should rest this steak for? If you guessed a short time is all that is required for this steak, you would be correct. I rested this for about 5 minutes. It's time to slice into it and see how it looks. I would say we have a pretty good looking medium rare there, so let's go ahead and plate it up. Well, that was pretty easy, wasn't it? Let me know in the comments how things turn out for you. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.